Hello, it's Jeffrey Christian. It's the afternoon of Monday, the 6th of July. CPM Group this morning issued a trade recommendation on gold, a short-term trade recommendation. We do these roughly every 5 days. As we were doing that, the price was around $1,798. It has been testing $1,800 for a while. And our view is that over the next several days, the price is probably going to trade between $1,800 and maybe $1,780, maybe even a little bit lower, $1,775 or so for the next few days. Clearly, the market wants to test 1,800. There are a lot of gold marketing groups and gold true believers who have been saying if the price of gold breaks above 1,800, the next stop is $1,900 or $2,000 or something like that. Our view for months has been that the price could get up and test $1,800, but bounce off of that, at least in the near term. And our view for the next week is that the near term, probably we see a high around $1,800. So if I were a short-term investor looking to profit, try to make a profit this week in the next 5 trading days, I would probably sell gold short, either using futures or options, with the view that it could go to 1780 and I could take some profits. From a longer term perspective, and by that I mean beyond this week, I really think by late July or August, you probably are going to see gold and silver prices rising sharply. There are market conditions in the COMEX August gold contract, 38 million ounces of open interest, and the September silver contract, very similar to what we saw that drove gold and silver prices sharply higher in late July and August of 2019. And then when you got the silver COMEX September contract roll behind you, the prices of gold and silver fell from early September into late December. So we think that there are market conditions, short-term market conditions on the COMEX gold and silver futures contracts that could help push prices higher. You also have a lot of technical factors. The bulls are right in that above $1,800, there's not a lot of technical chart patterns left. So there aren't a lot of short-term objectives. 1820, 1825 is one, and you could see the price move up to that level, but then come back off. But the reality is that above 1,800, the 90+% of the people who trade futures, options, and a lot of ETFs and leveraged ETFs and ETF options will be looking at measured moves and momentum indicators as opposed to resistance levels, because above 1,800 there aren't a lot of resistance levels, and 1,900 is a nice round target for those kinds of guys in their machines that determine where they should buy and sell. So we think that you have some technical patterns, you have some short-term things. Fundamentally, the gold and silver markets are relatively tight, even though you have record amounts of gold and silver stacked up in New York and London and Zurich and Shanghai. You have some revival in investment demand as well as fabrication demand in China. And you're also probably going to be moving into some period of seasonal strength, not in July, but possibly by September or October. Economics and politics have a variety of factors that probably will stimulate investment demand too. So for the short term, the next week or so, we think that the price could trade 1,800 to 1,780, a little bit of a downside objective there. And then from a longer term perspective, beyond the next 5 days, through late July, August, September, we wouldn't be surprised to see the gold and silver prices move sharply higher. I do think that silver has a cap around $1,900. It has tested it several times since last September. Prior to last September, you have to go back to probably 2015 or 2016 to find prices at that high. So there aren't a lot of technical factors, and I think that you'll find overhead resistance around $1,900 in silver, or $19 in silver. And in gold, I think that you'll see a lot of interest in gold because, quite frankly, there are any number of economic factors and other factors that are going to continue to stimulate investment demand for gold as a currency hedge, as a portfolio diversifier, as a safe haven place to put some of your money, and as a deflation hedge. Thank you, and I'll talk to you again soon.